नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय। ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय स्वपृष्ठाय गतवे श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। In the last class, we discussed how the Bhagavan's associates are transcendental. We discussed based on the question asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj to Narada Muni. Yudhishthira Maharaj emphatically asked how the residents of the Vaikuntha, they are devoid of material body. It is impossible that they can actually fall down from the material, the spiritual world. So, how is it possible? That is the question. So, that question asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj to Narada Muni, where he says the residents of Vaikuntha, they don't have material bodies. So, that verse is quoted to show that of the Bhagavan's associates are transcendental. The second verse, the 76th anuccheda, we discussed the verse when the Devatas offered prayers. Lord Vishnu appeared along with his Vaikuntha associates who are described as equal to him, except that they didn't have the Kaustubhajam and the Srivatsa. Otherwise, who appeared exactly like him. Atma Tulya is the word which is used. So by that it shows that how the Bhagavan's associates are also transcendental like the Lord. And then even there are other verses in the Bhagavatam says that the deity worship, one should also worship the different associates of the Lord. Krishna tells Krishna also told about Uddhava. Uddhava is in no measure less than me. So let him therefore remain in the world to spread the transcendental knowledge about me. So these verses, from these verses, we can understand how the Bhagavan's associates are transcendental. Now let us go to the 77th Anuccheda. Atayev kalatitas te parama bhaktanam parama purushartha samipyascha ityaha. So because the Vaikuntha associates are beyond the influence of time. Even for the Parama Bhaktas, even for the highest devotees, they consider as the Parama Purushartha, the highest goal of life is to be in the association of such devotees. And the verse is quoted from the Prahlad Maharaj's prayer. Tasmadamustanubhrutam ayushriyam vibhava virincyat नेच्छामि ते विदुलिता नुरुविक्रमेण कालात्मनो पणय मां निजभृत्य पार्श्वम्. So Prahlad Maharaj says that now that I am in knowledge, tasmat, therefore, I do not nechami, I do not desire, I do not yearn for the boons desired by the conditional beings. Tanubhrutta means conditional embodied living beings, such as Ayu, Shriyam, long life, opulence, Vibhavam, worldly glory, Aindriyam Avirinchyat, sense pleasures even up to including those enjoyed by Brahma. Why I don't desire? Nechami te vilulita nuruvikramena. Because all these are destroyed by you in the form of the time factor. Ayushriyam Vibhavam Aindriyam Avirinchyat. Nechami te vilulita nuruvikramena. And then what I desire? Kalatmano panayamam nijabhritya parshva. Just grant me the association of your servants. So we see that after explaining the associates of the Lord are transcendental, Jiva Goswami makes the same point in a different way. How even the highest devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, they don't desire anything material, not even liberation. They only desire the association of the devotees of the Lord. For example, Krishna tells to Uddhava in the Uddhava Gita about the nature of his devotees. It's similar to the Vritrasur prayer. Na parameshtyam, na mahendra dishnyam, na sarvabhaumam, na rasadhipatyam, na yoga siddhir apunar bhavam va mad arpitatme chati mad vinanyat. Mad arpitatme chati mad vinanyat. So, one who has surrendered himself to me does not desire anything other than me. Mad vina anyat. My arpitatma ichyati mad vinanyat. One who has surrendered unto me does not desire anything other than me, not the position of Brahma, the kingdom of Indra, mastery over the earth, or sovereignty over the nether worlds. He does not seek the mystic siddhis or even liberation. But these devotees, they definitely desire the company of the Lord's associates. So that means the Lord's associates must be transcendental. If they don't desire anything material and they desire the association of devotees, that means they must be transcendental. Otherwise, why would such exclusive devotees have any desire to associate with them? And such a desire is expressed by Prahlad Maharaj. So it is not that Prahlad desired to be relieved from material suffering, because he faced so much of difficulties. But still, he only desire was to serve the Lord. And then he is longing to be in the association of devotees. Nija Bhritya Parshvam. Nija Bhritya Parshvam means I want to be servant of your devotees, your Parshadas, your servants. So, Prahlad desired to be the servant of the Lord's devotees. Otherwise, he would have prayed to be relieved from the material misery. But he had no material desire, and that was Prahlad very clearly expressed when Narsingadev told Prahlad Maharaj, please ask me a benediction. That time Prahlad Maharaj clearly told that, Aham tu akamas, I don't desire anything. Tvad bhaktastvam, I am your devotee. Cha Swami Anapashraya, and you are my master. Na Anyata Iha Avayor Arto Rajasevakayoriva. I don't have, there is no other relationship between you and me like a master and servant, like between a king and a servant. Yadi dasyasi me kaman varamsvam varadarshaba. Oh, best of the givers of benediction. If at all you desire to give me some benediction, what I desire is that kamanam hridya samroham bhavatastu vrinevaram. Let me not have any material desire. That no material desires uh, may arise in my heart. So Prahlad had no material desires, and he prayed not to have any desire in the future, and yet he yearned for the association of the Lord's associates. So this clearly shows that the Lord's associates are not material. So therefore, Jiva Goswami says that Kala Titaha, these associates of the Lord are beyond the influence of time. And Prahlad is not an ordinary devotee. One place in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Rupa Goswami says that if you put all the devotees in one side of the balance, and if you put Prahlad in another side of the balance, Prahlad would be equal to all the devotees. But such a elevated devotee Prahlad, he desired to serve the Lord's associates. Therefore, Jiva Goswami says that Parama Purushartha, desiring the association of the Lord's eternal associates, Nityas of the devotees, that is the Parama Purushartha, the highest possible good that can be aspired for by conscious beings. So therefore, we see that the Lord's associates must be transcendental. Next also similar concept, the residents of Vaikuntha are transcendental to the material world. So Jiva Goswami is quoting from the Padmottara Kanda in the beginning. Tatacha Padmottara Kande. Tripad Vibhuter Lokastu Asankhya Parikirtita Shuddha Sattvamaya Sarve Brahmananda Sukahvayah Sarve Nitya Nirvikara Heya Raga Vivarjitah Sarve Hiranmaya Shuddha Koti Surya Samaprabha Sarve Vedamaya Divya Kamakrodadi Varjitah Narayana Padamboja Bhaktyeka Sevinah Nirantaram Samagana Paripurna Sukamshritah Sarve Panchopanishad Swarupa Veda Varchasah Tripad Vibhuter Lokastu Asankhya Parikirtita. There are unlimited worlds in the Tripad Vibhuti. Unlimited worlds, unlimited beings are there in the Tripad Vibhuti, Asankhya. And this Tripad Vibhuti refers to the spiritual world. It has three characteristics. Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshemam. Amrita means immortality, Abhayam, fearlessness, and Kshemam, the all auspicious worship of the absolute truth, which is the greatest welfare. Shuddha Sattva Mayad, the Tripad Vibhuti, the spiritual world consists of Shuddha Sattva. Sarve Brahmananda Sukahvaya. Can somebody read this translation? There are unlimited worlds. Yeah, I will only read. So all of them are of the nature of unalloyed being and are known as Brahmananda Sukha, the joy and bliss of Brahman. They are all eternal, immutable, nirvikara, and devoid of lower gunas. Hiranmaya, golden, pure, Shuddha, and brilliant like million suns. They are full of Vedic knowledge, divine and free from the defects of lust and greed. They relish only the nectar of unalloyed devotional service to Lord Narayan's lotus feet. And they are always filled with the bliss of the sweet chanting of the Samaveda and are effulgent with the Vedic knowledge, Veda Varchasa. They are the personification of the fivefold worship of the Lord. So we see this verse is talking about the Tripad Vibhuti. So all the description given in these shlokas, they apply to the planets of Vaikuntha and also to the inhabitants of Vaikuntha. Because the Sanskrit, the word loka can refer to the place as well as the person. Loka refers to the place and the person. So therefore, these verses can refer to the planet as well as the beings of Vaikuntha. And then he says, Atra Tripad Vibhuti Shabdena Prapancha Atita Loko Abhidiyate. But the Tripad Vibhuti, the world which is beyond the Prapancha, that is indicated. Pada Vibhuti Shabdena tu Prapancha iti. Pada Vibhuti or Ekapad Vibhuti refers to the material world, this Prapancha. And then Yatoktam Tatraiva. Again from Padma Purana, further verses are quoted. Tripad Vyapti Param Dhamni Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha. Tripad Vibhuter Nityam Syad Anityam Padamaishwaram. Nityam Tadrupamishasya Param Dhamni Stitam Shubham. Achyutam Shashvatam Divyam Sada Yavvanamashritam Nityam Sambhogamishwarya Shriya Bhumya Cha Samvrittam. So here the threefold dimensionality of being Tripad is inherent in the Lord's own abode. Param Dhamni Pado Asya Iha Abhavat Punaha. The dimension of threefold being is eternal, but the dimension of onefold being is Ekapad Vibhuti. Material world is temporary. The eternal auspicious form of the Lord exists in the transcendental abode. And that form is infallible, eternal, divine, and the reservoir of ever newly manifesting youth. In this form, he forever enjoys his potency, Shri, Bhu, and Ishwari. Sada Yavvanam Ashritam, Nityam Navanavayamanam, he said. And then after quoting this Padma Purana shlokas, then Jiva Goswami quotes the Bhagavatam shloka, so second canto. Atayeva tad anusarena Dvitiya skando apyevam yojaniyaha. Dvitiya skando apyevam yojaniyaha. Therefore, we'll discuss the narration found in the second canto in the light of these ideas. 2.6.17 Somrutasya bhayasyesho sa amrutasya abhayasya isho martyamannam yadatyagat mahimaisha tato brahman purushasya duratyayah saha amrutasya abhayasya ishaha. He is the Lord of Amrita, immortality, and Abhaya, fearlessness. Martyam annam yad atyagat. He is beyond martyam, mortality, and annam, food. And O Brahmana, this glory of the Supreme Person, Duratyaya, is very difficult to comprehend. So, Amritadi Dvayam. So, Amrita and Abhaya are mentioned here. But Amritadi Dvayam तत् तृतीयत्वेन वक्ष्यमाणस्य क्षेमस्य अपि उपलक्षणम्. So Tripad Vibhuti has three characteristics: Amrita, Abhaya, and Kshema. Only two words are mentioned, Amrita and Abhaya, in this shloka, 2.6.17. The next shloka, 2.6.18, all three will be mentioned. So although two are mentioned, Amrita and Abhaya, by that we have to infer the third one, that is Kshema. In this verse, the two words immortal and fearlessness are also indicative of the third item, namely welfare, cited in the verse that follows, as will be discussed. Kshemasyapi upalakshana. Shrutau cha. In the Rig Veda it is mentioned, utamritatva syeshanaha. Uta amritatvasya yeshanaha. Amritatvasya ishanaha. Ityatra amritatvam tad tadyugalopalakshanam. Tadyugalopalakshanam. Atra dharmi pradana nirdeshah श्रुतौ तु तत्र धर्ममात्र निर्देशस्यापि तत्रैव तात्पर्यम्. So in the Rig Veda it is mentioned that utamritatva syeshanaha, he is the master of immortality. He is the master of immortality, amritatva. So the only the one quality is mentioned, amritatva, but that is indicate of the other two qualities, that is abhaya and kshema. So the distinction between these two statements, that is the Bhagavatam 2.6.17 and the Rig Veda statement, is that in the Bhagavatam, Amrita denotes the entity to whom the attribute of the immortality belongs, while the Rig Veda statement signifies just the attribute itself. But nevertheless, it should be taken to indicate by extension of the meaning the entity to whom such an attribute belongs. So both these statements indicate the entity to whom the attributes Amrita, Abhaya and Kshema belong. And then further he says, Tatra Amritam, the quality of Amritam is also explained in other verses in the Bhagavatam. From the second canto, 9th chapter, when Krishna showed the Vaikuntha to Brahmaji. So that time, Tatra Amritam, the Amritam is described. Swadrishtavadbir Purushair Abhishtutam Paramna Yatparam 2.9.9 Ityadi Bhuktanusarena Paramanandaha Atayeva Amritam Vishnu Mandiram iti Tatparyayaha. So in those Swadrishtavadbir Purushair Abhishtutam Paramna Yatparam. Let us go to the 2.9.9 fully. Tasmai Swalokam Bhagavan Sabhajitaha Sandarshayamasa Paramna Yatparam Vyapeta Sanklesha Vimoha Sadvasam Swadrishtavadbir Purushair Abhishtutam. So here the word immortal means, Amritam means supremely blissful. As was shown in 2.9.9, there his personal abode Vaikuntha, the supreme planet above all others, which is glorified extensively by the enlightened sages, who have been blessed with this vision. Therefore, it was said that Amrita and Vishnu Mandira are synonymous. Amrita and Vishnu Mandira are synonymous because that abode is full of Paramananda, the abode of immortality. the abode of highest bliss. Amrita means supremely blissful. And then so Amrita means Paramananda. For that he is quoting these two shlokas. And then Abhaya is explained. Amritam Abhayam. Abhayam nacha kala vikramaha. इत्यादि भयमात्र अभावः अतएव द्विजा धामा अकुतो भयम् इत्युक्तम्. Abhayam refers to beyond the influence of time factor. Nor is there any influence of time factor. Nacha kala vikramaha. That means there is absolutely no trace of fear in Vaikuntha. Therefore, Shruta Goswami said that, O Brahmanas, that abode is free of fear. So in this world, within the material world, any place you go, it is temporary. Even in the Brahmaloka or Swargaloka, it is temporary. Because there is a fear of fall down from that particular place. There is a fear of anytime you may be removed from that place because it's a temporary place. But in Vaikuntha, it is said that it is a place of no fear because there is no fear of fall down from that particular place. Unlike the heavenly planets or Brahmaloka, where you cannot stay permanently. Therefore, all those places are filled with fear. So, Amritam Abhayam. And then Shema, the third characteristics. So, Amritam, Tripad Vibhuti is characterized by three characteristics. Amritam, Abhayam, Shemam. So, Amritam refers to Paramananda, supremely blissful. Abhayam means fearlessness. That means it is beyond the influence of time factor. And then Shema. Shemam means what? Nayatra Maya. 2.9.10. Nayatra Maya. Ityad Yuktanusarena Bhagavat Bahirmukata Kara Guna Sambandha Abhavad. Bhagavat Bhajana Mangalashrayatvam Nyeyam. Bhagavat Bhajana Mangalashrayatvam Nyeyam. So, Shemam refers to there is no Maya in Vaikuntha, Nayatra Maya. So, according to the statement, Shema or welfare should be understood as Vaikuntha's inherent quality of being the repository of all auspiciousness. Vaikuntha's inherent nature is a reservoir of all auspiciousness, present unconditionally as all-consuming devotion and love for the all-encompassing Supreme Person, Sri Bhagavan. Present unconditionally as all-consuming devotion and love for the all-encompassing Supreme Person, Sri Bhagavan. In that abode, such auspicious devotion is a natural state of being. Since there is no contact with the material gunas that divert attention and awareness away from the simple and obvious moment-to-moment recognition of God. In that abode, such auspicious devotion is a natural state of being because there is no contact with the material gunas that divert attention and awareness away from the simple and obvious moment-to-moment recognition of God. And this is also stated in the Narada Purana. So, Kshema means there is no Maya in that Vaikuntha. Kshema literally means welfare. That means the inherent nature of Vaikuntha is that it is all auspicious. How that all auspicious is present? Because in Vaikuntha, a devotee has unconditional devotion for the Supreme Person. That is the highest auspiciousness for the living entity. So, and there is no contact with the material gunas, which diverts a person from the recognition of God. Nayatra Maya. So therefore, fall down from Vaikuntha is impossible because there is no Maya in the Vaikuntha. Maya only diverts a person away from Krishna. But there is no Maya in Vaikuntha. Nayatra Maya. In the Vaikuntha, a person is completely filled with unconditional devotion to the Lord, which is the highest auspiciousness for a living entity. This way, these three characteristics, Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshemam are described. So this Kshema, the highest auspiciousness, this is also explained in the Naradiya Purana, how the devotional service is the highest auspiciousness. Sarva Mangala Murdhanya Purnanandamayi Sada Vijendra Tava Mayastu Bhaktiravya Bicharini. O Dvijendra, best of the twice born, may you be permeated with unalloyed devotional service unto me, which is always supremely blissful and is the Mangala Murdanya, the royal crown of all auspiciousness. Mangala Murdanya Purnananda Mayi Sada. So therefore, Atayeva Kshemam Vindanti Mastanam Ityuktam. Therefore, in the Uddhav Gita, Krishna says that they obtain my auspicious abode. Kshemam Vindanti Matsanam. So then somebody may interpret these shlokas or interpret these characteristics, Abhayam, Amritam, and Kshemam. So these are the characteristics of the Janaloka, like that somebody may interpret. Tatra Tatta Chabdena Lakshanamaya Kashta Kalpanaya Janalokadi Vachyatam Nishedan Hetum Yasyati. By an inappropriate stretch of imagination, one might indirectly interpret the above words as referring to Janaloka or some other material realm in the upper stratum of the universe. So, in order to refute such a possibility, it is mentioned that Martyam Annam Yadatyagat Brahmanopi Bayam Mattu Vipararda Parayushaha Ityadi Nyayena Marana Dharmakam and Annam Karmadipalam Trilokyadikam Yasmad Atyagat Atikramyaiva Tatra Virajata Iti. So, to refute this possibility, Shukla says that the abode is beyond Martyam and Annam, mortality and food. The word Martya means mortality, and because it is explained that even Lord Brahma, who has a lifespan lasting Vipararda, he also fears me. He also fears me. So therefore, even Brahma's abode is not Amrita. There is no absence of fearlessness. There also fear is there because it's a mortal abode. And the word Anna refers to the results of karma. Martyam Annam Edatyagat. The Vaikuntha Tripad Vibhuti is beyond mortality and food, Annam. But here Anna refers to the results of karma phala, the karma phala. So the results of karma in the form of the existence of the three divisions of mortal planetary systems. But the Lord's abode is situated beyond these three planetary systems. That is why it is mentioned that Martyam Annam Yadatyagat. And then he says that Yeshaha Amritad Aishwarya Rupaha Duratyayah Brahmacharyadibihi Kenachin Manasa Api Avarodhum Ashakyaha. So this glory, Yeshaha, means the opulences referred to, such as Amrita, Abhaya, and Kshema. And Duratyaya means difficult to understand. That means Vaikuntha cannot be grasped by anyone through the mind or following disciplines like Brahmacharya. Following disciplines like Brahmacharya. So the first part of it's not yet over, 78th anuccheda. So let us go through the commentary. So to show that the residents of Vaikuntha are transcendental, Jiva Goswami refers to the series of verses spoken by Shiva to Parvati. Shiva is explaining about the Tripad Vibhuti. So the interesting point is that the word Loka can mean not only a place, but it can also refer to the person. The description given about the Tripad Vibhuti can be applied to the place Tripada Vibhuti and also the persons residing in Tripada Vibhuti. That means the inhabitants of Vaikuntha. So Jiva Goswami first quotes the verses from Padma Purana in order to contextualize his explanation of the second canto verses, which we will quote later. So in these verses and those from the Bhagavatam are a Puranic elucidation of the famous Purusha Sukta of Rigveda. The second canto, 6th chapter is titled as what? Purusha Sukta Confirmed. What is explained in the Purusha Sukta is confirmed in the Bhagavatam in the second canto, 6th chapter. And the Padma Purana shlokas, in which Lord Shiva is giving a description of Tripada Vibhuti, that is also explanation of the Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta comes in all the three Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Sama, all the four Vedas. Therefore, Purusha Sukta is considered to be the most important part of the Vedas. So previously, Lord Shiva gave a description of the Lakshmi Devi and said, in this way, the great goddess Lakshmi is glorified in Rik Samhita. Evam Rik Samhitayam Stuyamana Maheshwari. So this makes it clear that what follows after the description of Lakshmi Devi is also based on Rik Samhita. And Rik Samhita here refers to Purusha Sukta. And in the second canto, 6th chapter, when Sridhar Swami begins his commentary, and Sridhar Swami says that, what does Sridhar Swami says? Shashte, the 6th chapter, Virat Vibhutischa Prokta Adhyatmadi Bedataha Dridikritam cha Purvoktam Sarvam Purusha Suktataha. The second canto, 6th chapter, the opulence of the Virata, which is described in the 6th chapter, according to divisions such as Adhyatma, everything was previously stated and is confirmed and supported by the Purusha Sukta. So therefore, in Sridhar Swami comments on the verses of the second canto, 6th chapter, he actually explains that how the different verses in that chapter correspond to the different verses of the Purusha Sukta. The Purusha Sukta, in the Purusha Sukta prayer, the material world is referred to as the Ekapad Vibhuti. And the spiritual world is referred to as the Tripad Vibhuti. So Narada Muni approaches Brahma, the second canto, to inquire about the support, cause, and the controller of the universe. So in response, Brahma describes the material creation which emanates from the Supreme Lord. He explains that the universe is the Virata Purusha, a form of the Lord. The verses beginning with 2.6.14 correspond to the first four Purusha Sukta mantras given below. So the verses beginning with 2.6.14, the Bhagavatam, correspond to the first four Purusha Sukta mantras. What are the first four Purusha Sukta mantras? Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha. Sahasra Sirsha, the universal Lord is endowed with 1,000 unlimited heads. Sahasraksha Sahasrapat, he has thousands of eyes and feet. Sabhumim Vishwato Vridva Atyatishtatashangulam, after having encompassed the entire universe. Sabhumim Vishwato Vridva Atyatishtat Dashangulam. He surpasses the cosmic creation by a distance of 10 fingers. So he surpasses the cosmic creation by a distance of 10 fingers. So this is also, this verse is also indicated in the Damodar Leela. This says that the Lord encompasses the entire universe and surpasses the cosmic creation by a distance of 10 fingers. So Mother Yashoda brought so many ropes to bind Krishna. She brought all the ropes. She brought all the ropes from the entire Vrindavan. But still, Krishna, it was two fingers too short. Why? Because Krishna surpasses the cosmic creation by a distance of Atyatishtat Dashangulam. Atyatishtat Dashangulam, 10 fingers. Krishna surpasses the cosmic creation. So, because Krishna surpasses the cosmic creation, even though Yashoda brought all the ropes, even if she had brought all the ropes in the entire universe, she would not have been able to bind, because Krishna surpasses the cosmic creation. That means the Lord exists. So therefore, Purusha Sukta is also confirmed in the Damodar Leela. So this means that the Lord exists both within and without the universe. The number 10 signifies the 7 coverings of the universe, each of which is 10 times thicker than the preceding one. And this is called the Dashangula Nyaya in the Vedic terminology. So, in that Purusha Sukta, further it is said that Purusha Yevedagum Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yacha Bhavyam Utamritatva Seshanaha Yadannena Tirohati Yetavanasya Mahima Ato Jayagamsya Purushaha Pado Asya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Mritam Divi Tripad Udva Udaiti Purushaha Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha Tato Vishwan Vyakramate Shashana Nashane Abhi. So what is the meaning? This visible universe is the form of the Virata Purusha. Whatever existed in the past or will exist in the future is also the form of the universal Lord. And he is the Lord of immortality and beyond the law of karma, which influences the living beings within the universe. Purusha Yevedagam Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yacha Bhavyam Utamritatva Utamritatvasya Ishanaha Yadannena Tirohati. Yad Annena, Anna refers to Karma Phala, beyond Karma Phala. Yetavanasya Mahima Ato Jayagamsya Purusha. So, Yetavanasya Mahima, all that is seen here is this greatness. Yetavanasya Mahima Ato Jayagamsya Purusha. And all the universes and beings are but one dimension. And his threefold dimension is immortal in the sky, in the divine sky. And the Lord's threefold dimension of transcendental being is established beyond the material world, whereas his one-fold dimensionality is manifested in the material world. Then again, the living beings here in the material world tread on the path of consumption, pleasure, and painful experience, are of non-consumption. That means the path of jnana marga, either the karma kanda or the jnana kanda. Yet the all-pervading Lord is beyond both. So in this way, the Purusha Sukta describes the Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. So these verses of the Purusha Sukta, as well as the corresponding description of the Virata Purusha, the second canto, sixth chapter, clearly describe the two different creations. So the living beings are under the law of karma. The karma is compared to the food, anna. But the Lord and his devotees are beyond karma phala. So the Lord is the controller of immortality, which means that he has the power to award it to others. Utamritatvasya Ishanah. He has the power to award immortality. Sometimes Swarga is also referred as a place of immortality. But then the Swarga's immortality is not real. It only appears as immortal because of a long lifespan compared to the life in the other planets. But even in Swarga, there is a fear of death. So therefore, in order to differentiate Vaikuntha from the heavenly sphere, Brahma uses the adjective Abhayam. So Jiva Goswami says that the 2.6.17, both Amritam and Abhayam, both are mentioned. And these two words also indicate the third characteristic, that is Kshemam, that is auspiciousness. So Kshema means that time has no unfavorable influence on the devotees. That means devotees in Vaikuntha never come under the influence of the inauspicious material gunas. Therefore, the Lord's abode is called Kshemam Sthanam, or a place of auspiciousness. So these three characteristics, Amrita, Abhaya, and Kshema, these are the three characteristics of Vaikuntha. Therefore, the Vaikuntha is called as Tripad Vibhuti. Tripad Vibhuti. So, and we cannot interpret the Tripad Vibhuti as referring to Janaloka, Maharaloka, etc. Because the Lord is beyond death. Because the Lord is beyond death, but in this world, everyone is afraid of death, including Brahma. So Brahma's lifespan is Dviparardha. Brahma's one kalpa is 1,000 Chaturyugas. But Brahma lives for Dviparardha. Dviparardha is so many 311 trillion years. But even with such a long lifespan, even Brahma is also faced with a mortality and is afraid. So therefore, the description given here of the Tripad Vibhuti having the characteristics of Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshemam, they refer to the Vaikuntha and not the Janaloka or Maharaloka or the Swargaloka. So further, we'll just complete this anuccheda. We will see that in the next class. Little another half an hour it will take. But other half of this anuccheda we will see in the next class. So to summarize what we discussed today, 77th anuccheda, how the devotees of the Lord, the associates of the Lord are transcendental. For that, the Prahlad Maharaj prayers are quoted. Prahlad Maharaj says that I don't desire long life, ayushriyam, opulences, etc. Even that which is available in Brahmaloka. But what I desire is that I want to be the servant of your associates. So this shows that the associates of the Lord must be transcendental. And then the residents of Vaikuntha are transcendental to the material world. For that, Jiva Goswami, the Tripad Vibhuti has three characteristics: Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshemam. So it is the Lord Shiva's description of Tripad Vibhuti spoken to Parvati from Padma Purana is quoted. And then that connection uh, to the characteristics of Tripad Vibhuti are explained in that. And then Jiva Goswami quotes the second canto, sixth chapter shloka, where the Amrita and Abhaya are mentioned. Amrita and Abhaya, they are also indicative of the third characteristic, that is Shema. Shema means all auspiciousness. Auspiciousness here refers to being engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Amritam refers to Paramananda. Abhayam refers to fearlessness. That means the Vaikuntha is beyond the time factor. Uh, Shema refers to Vaikuntha is beyond the influence of Maya. And then so and then Jiva Goswami says that these verses also correspond to the Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta also it is mentioned that uh, how the Tripad Vibhuti is beyond Martyam and Annam. It is beyond the Karma Phala and it is beyond mortality. So therefore the Purusha Sukta prayers are confirmed by the what is described in the Purusha Sukta is confirmed in the second canto, sixth chapter, and it is confirmed in the Padma Purana, where Lord Shiva describes to Parvati. So Padma Purana shlokas, Bhagavatam second canto, sixth chapter, and Purusha Sukta, all three are confirmed. They refer to the difference between the Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. So this is the part of the 78th Anuccheda. We'll take the other part in the next class and then we'll go further ahead. Okay. The questions, Balakrishna from